Hi, I'm Raymond, and you're listening to Insert Quest here. Today's quest is Worldwide Wrestling. Worldwide Wrestling is a wrestling RPG. This is my second time running it. It has some very interesting and innovative mechanics, and I kind of very much love some of the design aspects to it. And a lot of the actual play podcasters are playing it at the moment, so we thought we'd also play it as well. But before we get too much further into that, let's have our players introduce themselves, starting with Eric.
Hello there, I'm Eric, aka Rhythm Bastard. I am a nerdcore punk musician, and you can find all my music at rhythmbastard.rocks. I rock so hard, I have to put it in the URL.
Hey, I'm Matej Simovic. I work as a games journalist. I write for capsulecomputers.com.au. Come check out my stuff if you're interested in any of it. Yeah.
Cool. And what are your wrestlers' names, and what are their playbooks?
All right. My wrestler name is Kid Uno, and my wrestler playbook is that he is the veteran.
Wonderful.
My wrestler is Comrade Tavarish, and my wrestler role is the monster.
Cool. Wonderful. So tonight we're going to be playing through the International Quarterly Hurtfest. But before we get to that, we're going to talk a little bit about what happened on the last episode. So if you're a little bit confused at this, let me get there at the outset. There has probably, at this point in time, not actually been a previous episode. I have recorded another episode of this, but I don't know what order they're going to come out. So this is off the cuff to give you guys a bit of flavor. So in the last year of International Quarterly Hurtfest, they have 4 big matches a year. The Azure Fist, the God King of Wrestling himself, announced that he had grown tired of wrestling, that he was no longer had the stomach to continue on down this path, and that he wished to return to his home of Gem Mountain and just live out the rest of his life in quiet contemplation out there in Big Sky Country. So he has announced. Excuse me, my neighbors are screaming. So he announced that the mid-year Hurtfest was going to be the ascension ceremony for the new God King of Wrestling. Over the last few months, amateur wrestlers and professionals from various leagues across the world have attempted to qualify and impress the Azure Fist, the Sapphire God. And a select few have made it through to semi-final events that have been hosted by other leagues. And four leagues have sent their best wrestlers to the Quarterly Hurtfest. And these 4 wrestlers are going to take part in a King of the Hill match to decide who will be the true champion, the one true God King. So I will tell you guys that there are in fact 2 matches booked for tonight, but on the what is the word I'm looking for? On the program guide for tonight's space, there's only 1, right? So backstage, you guys can see the 2 billings, and you guys know what the 2 fights are, but out in public, the audience isn't aware that there's another match scheduled for after the King of the Hill match. They think that after the King of the Hill match, there's going to be a big bit of pomp and ceremony. Now, you two know that you're both in that final match, but that's all I'm going to say about that because I don't want to spoil it for the audience. That's what happened in the last episode, basically. And now I'm going to read off. Now I'm going to read off the hype, the ad for this episode. It's a worldwide wrestling event. Premium uncut wrestling beamed straight into your hungry eyeballs. At the last IQH, the People's Champion, the Macho Montana Man, the King of Gem Mountain, the beloved Azure Fist, announced his abdication from his sapphire throne. But don't worry, wrestling fans, he's picked a few successors. And how does a wrestling warrior prince become a warrior god king? With a match to end all matches, a king of the hill match. Get ready for the biggest IQH yet. We're flying in the best fighters from all over the map to compete for the Azure Jewel, the mystic ring of ultimate wrestling power. Switch on and tune in for a nail-biting, no-holds-barred, edge-of-your-seat, mega king of the hill match on the international quarterly Hurtfest Crown Jewel Beatdown. So, let's introduce our wrestlers. You can frame this as a... now, this isn't cutting a promo for Eric, just by the way.
Okay.
Eric is familiar with wrestling terms. This isn't a promo. This is like an introductory reel. Maybe this is something they show. Maybe this is like a little YouTube clip that's up on the website for people that are, not too familiar with the wrestlers that are in tonight's game. So you can describe this as however you want, but tell us a bit about your wrestler and his background.
Okay, my wrestler is Kid Uno. In the ring, he wears a mask that looks like a bird head, and his entrance, he wears a cool pilot scarf. He has been in the business for a long time, and usually he is one of the good guys to work with because, he's always one of those people who believes in iron sharpens iron. So, like, you'll see him in a lot of good see him a lot of matches with a lot of these classic guys, people he's learning from, up and newcomers. So he's always looking for that one new thing to learn.
All right. My character is Comrade Tarish. They wear an Ushanka hat, and the only other bit of wrestling gear that they have is very tight short shorts with the Soviet flag on them.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So my character is very much new to the profession, has pretty much no technical ability, but is incredibly physically imposing. So they're ripped like nothing else. That's pretty much all that they're good for. So yeah, we're here to get iron sharpened.
Wonderful. Some of the other wrestlers that are billed tonight, the other two finalists that have made it to this King of the Hill match, Dirty Claymore, a bit of a hardcore fighter. He wears a lot of military gear, and he has a lot of tattoos and scars. His gimmick normally involves a lot of pyrotechnics. He comes from a South American wrestling league, and he's kind of billed as like a foreigner character there. He's this CIA American mercenary that's been sent down to disrupt political proceedings and things like that.
Oh my god!
And the other person in the fight is Ernie Fanders, who is this kind of he's this weirdly political character. He's like this politician kind of character that wants to reform the wrestling league. He wants to unionize the wrestling league and bring in equal opportunity contracts, and all these crazy ideas. If he wins, he's going to completely restructure the International Quarterly Hurtfest, and he's going to provide free healthcare to all wrestlers. And that's not just wrestlers in our league. He's going to provide it to wrestlers from all leagues.
We can't have that.
Yeah, keep in mind, I'm an American, so this would be like a step up for me. You know, you Australians with your fucking...
Oh, yeah, we've got that evil socialized medicine.
It's great. It's great.
Ruining the country, Eric. We're all so healthy.
So I imagine like him and Dirty Claymore are like fierce enemies.
I should also point out that the International Quarterly Hurtfest is filmed in Manila in the Philippines.
Right.
This is for complicated legislative reasons that allows them to use more lax advertising laws.
Fair enough. Yeah, all right.
This was established in last night's game, and I'm rolling with it.
All right. So this is the King of the Hill in the Manila.
Yeah. I guess
Boo.
it is.
Boo.
Let me bring up the player aids thing and scroll down to the episode thing. Book the show, starting the episode. Once you've booked the show and everyone's ready, start with the first segment. Go to a backstage interview with contestants for the first match. Okay, so who wants to be interviewed first?
I'm happy to give it a shot. Like I meant to like smack talk someone else, right?
You can totally cut a promo. But don't worry about the mechanics of that too much. You can just fucking smack talk people.
Okay.
Yeah. So who is our interviewer?
Jonesy Spencerson.
Doesn't have to be a guy.
All right.
Okay. Jamie
Why do you assume
Spencerson.
Jonesy? Why does Jonesy have to be a male name?
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Okay, so a woman in a tight ponytail is holding a microphone backstage. She's in like a title card pops up on screen saying Jonesy, investigative wrestling reporter.
The segment is like Jonesy jostling with jerks or something like that.
Yeah. She's like, I'm backstage here at the International Quarterly Hurtfest. We're about to be kicking off the King of the Hill match to decide the future of the International Quarterly Hurtfest, who will ascend to the Sapphire Throne. And I'm here with a fan favorite comrade. Fan favorite? You're a heel, though, aren't you?
Yeah. So I'm the villain.
Not a fan favorite. We're here with the comrade. How do you pronounce the second part of his name?
Comrade. Just like it. Literally, it's Russian for comrade, so it's comrade.
Brilliant. We're here with the comrade's comrade. How are you feeling about tonight's match? Are you excited that you've made it this far?
Da! I will crush everyone.
Okay. What do you have any plans for when or if you win the Sapphire Throne? Are you going to make any changes to the Hurtfest?
I will institute Soviet Hurtfest. It will no longer be quarterly Hurtfest. It will be Soviet Hurtfest. Excellent. Making good times. Da.
Oh, wonderful. That'll be some expensive rebranding for marketing. Is there anyone in particular that you would like to call out?
So remind me again, what was the CIA guy's name?
Dirty Claymore.
All right, Dirty Claymore. So, Dirty Claymore, I crush him into tiny babushka doll, put him inside other babushka doll, then crush that babushka doll.
Okay. Roll me. Hang on. What is cut of promo? What are the stats for cut of promo? Let me scroll
I'll
back
roll
up.
the dice and
It
you
is
tell me what the stat-
2d6 either way. Cut
Yeah,
of
yeah.
promo 2d6 plus look.
Oh, good. Thank God. So, because of my intimidating stature, I can use power instead of.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. You
my
are
actual
in
look.
fact not in the ring.
Yep. So I get to. So I rolled an 8 plus my power 3, so 11.
11. On a 10, you connect with the audience, gain +1 momentum. So you'll want to mark that somewhere.
Okay.
What does your audience start at?
Audience starts at 1.
So you probably have 1 momentum already, maybe? It'll say next to your audience what happens when you have 1 momentum.
Okay, yep. I will double check that now.
Yeah. But either way, you gain a momentum and you get to pick 1 from the 7 to 9 list. So I'll just quickly read that off for you. Make creative, book you in a match. Don't do that. You're already booked in a match.
Yep.
Add a stipulation to a relevant match. That could be fun. Gain +1 momentum or gain +1 heat with the subject of your promo.
Yes, the heat. Excellent. I will milk this.
So you should probably mark that somewhere that you have 1 heat with Dirty Claymore.
Yep.
Wonderful. Cool. It's like, all right, cool. And then, like, you know, cuts to an ad segment or maybe some interviewers talking about something. And then we move over to Dirty Claymore. And was it Jonesy? Was that the name of the interviewer?
Janie, I guess. Like, because the thing is,
No. Someone was like, Jonesy could be a woman's name.
Yeah,
okay.
Look, like it's generic enough. It can be.
Yeah. All right, Jonesy then.
She sort of walks over and she steps into Claymore's dressing room, and he's got like a military fatigues on and big black combat boots, but the laces are gold. And he's got like an army shirt on, but the sleeves are ripped off and it's unbuttoned, and you can see all these tattoos on his chest. And he's got big mirror shades. And he's got that Mr. White haircut. Or Mr. Jones or Mr. Smith, you know, whatever. And he's sitting there surrounded by all these people, and he's like having a beer, and they're all laughing. And it's just like, so Claymore, do you have Comrade's called you out. Do you have anything to say? He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna say, I brought down your union. I'm gonna bring you down too.
Oh, that's good.
What kind of voice was that?
I don't know.
It was a. Well, look, I like the idea of the CIA guy, tough as nails, but also has a very, very like soft kind of voice.
There's a reason he brings explosives into the ring, right? People always teasing him, and he's not about it. He doesn't like being teased.
Absolutely, it could be one of the things that the audience love him for. He's a man of many facets.
Yeah, he's a multifaceted gem. And then we move over to Ernie Fanders, who is like, look, my actions speak for themselves. I don't think I really need to say any more, but I will say this. Not only will I bring free healthcare to all wrestlers, I'm also going to start a free wrestling university for young wrestlers to find a way into the calling that has all given us so much, a way for the International Quarterly Hurtfest to give back to the people that have made it so great. Yeah, it's a weird promo, but it's what he does.
I love it.
And then
I'm digging it.
It is time for Kid Unos.
All right.
So, is there a nickname that maybe some of your other fans have known you by?
No, I have to come up with an answer because this is RPGs. This is how RPGs work. You got to have like firm answers for everything. That's what art is. So
yeah.
I guess the Taskmaster, because he's always on tasks, he's always dedicating himself, and he's always up for learning something new.
I should have known you were going to pick that.
Well, duh.
It's like your favorite Marvel guy.
Yeah, I was thinking of or Birdman.
No, I mean Birdman works, but
yeah.
I mean Taskmaster's also good.
Yeah.
I'm here with Kid Uno's the Taskmaster, the Birdman. You're kind of the hot favorite for this match. Are you concerned? I mean, you are an older wrestler. Are you worried about these young, newer guys coming in here and using their youth to their advantage?
See, here's the thing. Age, you call it age. I call it experience. See, the International Quarterly Hurtfest has never done a King of the Hill match before. And you know what? I've been in dozens of matches. I have been in ladder matches, tables matches, chairs matches, flaming ladders matches. Don't explain to me how that works. But I've seen it all. I've done it all. I've won every championship except the Azure ring, the Sapphire ring, whatever it's called. And because of that, I'm going to use my experience and my dedication to make it and be King of the Hill.
Great, wonderful. I love that intensity, that passion that you always bring to these ringside chats, and you even bring it into the ring. Do you have a message for any of the other contestants?
Do I have a message for the other contestants?
Yeah, this is the actual Cutter promo part.
Okay, this is the actual Cutter promo part.
Because Cutter promo is really used to call someone else out, right?
Okay.
In this instance. And you can call out management. You can call out the Azure Fist if you wanted. Like, you can call out anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a wrestler in the ring.
Okay. I'm going to call out the Azure Fist because he abdicated his throne. Yeah. He abdicated his throne. He's not here to leave a legacy like I am. He's not here to stay within the hearts and minds of all the people out here in the International Quarterly Hurtfest universe, because I'm still here, I'm still around, and by the time my reign is over, everyone will forget about the Azure Fist.
All right. I'm gonna roll me 2d6 plus look.
All right, 2d6 plus look. Don't got a bonus on that. 5.
5. Do you want to spend momentum? You'd need to spend 2 to get it to anything worthwhile. So
how much momentum do I have?
I don't know. I don't have your character sheet open.
Oh, hold on. Let's see.
So if you go down to audience, it'll tell you how much audience you start with, and then that will probably also say that you start with a certain amount of momentum based on that. So, like, for example, normally if you have one audience, you have 1 momentum.
Right.
You have 2. You have 2 audience, and you start with 1 momentum.
Okay, 2 audience, and I start with 1 momentum. All right. Let me just go back down here.
So you don't really have enough momentum to get that up to a positive.
Okay.
So, does it have a botch for that one? Yeah, I guess it doesn't specifically suggest a botch for that one, which is interesting, but cool. I guess the audience doesn't really care about that. It doesn't gain enough. Doesn't gain enough interest. Everyone's kind of like, everyone finds it interesting that you've taken that tact for your character, but like everyone's pretty big on the Azure Fist.
Yeah,
pretty popular. But everyone knows he's not going to really retire. Like, he's going to do some 11th hour thing. He's going to come back like in 2 years and retake the throne or something. You know, he's going to come back with like a horde of barbarians or something.
Ratings going to get low.
The Azure Fist's gimmick started out as like this simple Montanan miner who like was fighting for workers' rights. And then they wanted to revamp his character, so they had him get disfigured by an unfortunate sapphire mining accident. And then things snowballed from there, and eventually he ended up being basically this Undertaker-esque character. He's basically a fucking wizard.
Good.
In the match that I did with another podcast a few weeks ago, the Azure Fist got punched in the face and some of his sapphires came off. And apparently, and then someone stated, when the Azure Fist sapphires come off, he starts to lose power. And I'm like, lose power? What? Am I a wizard? What? Okay, cool. I'm a wizard.
I feel like I should get more into wrestling. Like, this sounds amazing. If this is...
I mean, this is somewhat a representative of actual wrestling things.
Okay.
Lucha Underground.
Yeah. Lucha Underground is very much basically superheroes. Okay, so that's cutting a promo. That was some nice promos from everybody. I guess now we'll move into your intros. So there's probably been a couple of warm-up matches to get the audience riled up. Things like that. Some funny matches. There's a few with amateur new people, new rosters and things like that, where they're letting people show off some skill. And then like the lights dim and the loud music starts. And everyone starts losing their minds as they're talking about the fantastic King of the Hill match. And then all the screens across the large stadium fill up with this image of the Azure Fist standing there with his arms crossed. He's like, tonight we decide who will take my place as the God King of Wrestling. But don't weep for my passing. I will still be here, guiding the hand of the new king. I wouldn't leave you unprotected, undefended against the barbarian hordes. I will make sure that your new king, your new ruler, makes the right decisions coming forward. But we've got 4 warrior princes coming up onto the stage, 4 hopefuls trying to claim my throne. So let's see what they've got. And who's coming down the ramp first? You guys can decide that it's one of the other guys if you want. Like, it can be one of the other 2. Or you can take it for yourself.
I feel like
I feel like this is a good time to point this out. The way that the matches work is I've written down who's billed for the matches, and you guys get to know who's billed for the matches. And at the same time that I've written that down, I've written down who is billed, who creative has scripted to win.
Right.
You guys, I don't tell the players that until the moment that that we get towards the end of the fight. In the fight, to make it easier for the players to act out the actual wrestling. So your characters know who's billed to win, but the players don't.
Okay.
So it makes it easier for you to improvise the fight because you're not constantly trying to work towards making sure that the right person wins or whatever.
Okay.
It also means that you don't try and work against that necessarily as well.
Right.
Because you don't know who I've built to win.
Yep.
All right. Yes. So who's coming down that ramp first?
I feel like Dirty Claymore. Okay. Go, no, you can. Okay, we'll both pitch our suggestions. You first.
Actually, no, I do like Dirty Claymore coming down first, and my entrance can still happen second. So go for it.
Right. Cool. So let me pull up the hardcore sheet so that I can see Claymore's entrances. Oh yeah, it's raucous and aggressive. So
Of course it
he
is.
comes out on stage. There's explosions going off around the ring. We hear that we hear a small clip from Team America. So we hear America.
Yes.
And then it cuts into like Fortunate Son performed by Kid Rock.
What?
I don't know if Kid Rock has actually done a cover of Fortunate Son, but that's what comes out.
Yes, for those of you at home, and as apparently the sole American of the group, "Fortunate Son" is basically a song by Creedence Clearwater, originally by the band Creedence Clearwater Revival, about how pretty much all like the rich people don't get to go to war, and it's just the poor man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
We know it in Australia because it's on Supernatural.
Yep.
And a bunch of other like Vietnam War songs are in Supernatural. It's very weird.
Huh.
Well, it's got a one of the characters is into sort of that 60s musical timeline, so fun times.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, Fortunate Son, as performed by Kid Rock, is playing as he comes down the stage, and he's flanked by like all these other like his entourage of like sexy South American women and like these guys that are pretending to be members of like some kind of South American drug cartel, and there's like a guy in I can't remember the name of that fashion type, but it's I think it's called like the operator aesthetic. So it's like a dude in like khaki suit pants with like combat boots, partially obscured by his suit pants, and then like a dress shirt under like a tack vest.
Okay.
So he looks like he's like some fucking CIA or other kind of government contractor that's just landed in a war zone.
All right.
And he's like walking down the stage with him. There's people. He gets to the bottom of the stage and he's like shouting at the audience, and he like snatches a mic. He's like, "It's great to be here in Manila. I've brought some presents for you all." And he like kicks open this crate that's at the bottom of the stage, and he says, "I've brought you all some American freedom." And he starts chucking cartons of cigarettes into the audience, and he gets his entourage to start handing audience members bottles of like Jack Daniels. And he's using the cheap heat move.
All right.
So cheap heat, when you insult or praise the audience or their hometown, you gain +1 momentum.
Okay.
You can only use cheap heat once per episode.
Yep. All right.
So he has done that, and he's just waiting down ringside for the next people to come out.
All right, sure. Well, my character, Comrade Tavarish, makes his entrance, like a record scratch from Fortunate Son to what sounds like a very old recording of the Soviet national anthem. Like it's sort of crackly and not quite coming through properly. And he enters. He's draped in the Soviet flag. People are, depending on whether they're with him or against him, booing or cheering.
Mm-hmm.
He enters in. Then once again, another record scratch. This time, it's Boney M, Rasputin, Russia's Greatest Love Machine. At that point, someone throws him a sugar glass bottle of vodka, which, while he's doing the Cossack dance, he downs in one and then breaks the bottle over his head.
The Cossack dance, that's the
So-
one where you're like kicking your legs out under you, right?
Yeah, okay.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Kazachok, if anyone wants to know the actual name. But yeah,
I heard the Kazakh he did.
dance.
I heard the Kazakh he did was really wunderbar.
Yeah.
Isn't Wonderbar German?
Yeah, no, that's the song. Yeah, for some
Yeah,
reason.
that's the song.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
the Kazakh dance was really wunderbar. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yep.
So you down the sugar glass bottle of vodka. What happens once you've drunk it?
Well, I break it over my head.
Yeah, I thought
Just
that was
to-
coming.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
To show how
Yeah,
hard
but,
you are.
absolutely, and just roar out.
Um,
I'm not sure how my character would do with attempting to insult this particular town.
so you can insult them if
so-
you want, or you can try and work the audience if you just want to like rile them up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, basically, I'll say that this sort of display was meant to do that, but is there something specific more I need to add, or?
So work the
Like-
audience is when you pump up, yell at, or otherwise work to get the audience in your corner. Roll plus audience. So roll
All
plus
right, all right.
your current rating in audience.
All right, cool. So would what I've described be enough, or do you want me to
Yeah,
add
that's
something
enough to
more,
trigger
or-
the move.
Okay. Right here. Makes it roll. Okay, that's a 3. They are so not down with my shit.
So you rolled 2 ones.
I rolled a 2 and a 1, so plus my audience, which is
Oh, is your
currently-
audience 0? I thought it started at 1.
My audience is 1. My audience is 1.
So it's a 4,
I've got
but
a-
that still doesn't help.
yeah.
On a botch, they're not feeling it. You can't work the audience again this episode.
Yeah, they are not Blink-182. They are not feeling it.
If you want, you can. Seeing as they're not into it, you can totally cheap heat them to gain momentum.
All right.
You can be like, "What? You don't like dance?
What? You don't like dance?
Insult Manila."
All right. Yeah. Oh, oh no, I can't think of any good insults right now. Now let someone else take the entrance. It'll be fine.
All right.
Thriller in Manila,
Always use
more
cheap
like
heat
giant
again.
boar in Manila.
I love it. Yes. All right. Thriller in Manila, more like boars in Manila.
You chuckle, and they're all like booing you.
Yeah.
Take 1 plus 1 momentum.
1 plus 1 momentum.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
Yeah, momentum you use to give yourself bonuses.
Hmm.
I think it might have special use in King of the Hill. Just let me double check.
Yep.
Doesn't look like there's anything special you use it for in King of the Hill, but it's fine. All right, who's coming down next?
I feel like Ernie Fanders, because he's like
Yeah.
the more boring one.
Yeah. Okay. So he comes. He steps out behind a podium in a suit, and he looks kind of old, like maybe in his 60s or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, steps out. He's like, I'm looking forward to bringing democracy to this great wrestling competition. Too long we've been oppressed by the Azure Fist. We're going to stand up
the
and be heard.
establishment, the establishment wrestling, the wrestling establishment,
The wrestling establishment, the
the wrestling industrial complex.
bourgeoisie wrestling management has stood on the neck of the
working wrestler.
of the worst working wrestler for too long. And then he like rips open his shirt and he's like peaks buff, like
Yes.
like that gross old man kind of buff that makes you like go, oh, he's like a monster.
You ever see the movie Kung Fu Hustle?
I think I've seen the scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Kid Rock did do a cover of Fortunate Son.
Of course
Okay,
he
this
did.
is-
How could
of course he
he
did.
not? He did a fuck, man. I'm remembering his weird kind of inspired by sampled cover thing of Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, all summer long, which is Sweet Home Alabama and Werewolves of London had a baby, but songs aren't supposed to have babies, so it came this little thing like, yeah,
Kill me. Anyway,
Oh my god.
no one, oh, kill me.
yeah, and he's running down the podium, just ripped. He's just ripped. But the audience, they're not really feeling it. Like, no positives or negatives for Ernie Fanders. Who's next?
Last but not least, Kid Uno. So the snare intro from the fucking Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger comes in. It's a long story behind this. So then he starts running out to the ring, waving to the audience, and for his I don't know if this would be under work the crowd or feats of strength, but
is feats of strength a thing for your character?
Hold on, let me check. Let's see.
Is that a move you have?
It's a general move.
Oh, right. There's a basic move up the top that's feats of strength. Okay, well, describe what you're doing, and I'll tell you what move you trigger.
Okay, so so as he goes to the ring, he just jumps from the floor to the ring apron, and then he jumps from the apron up to the top rope, and then he kind of does this like stuntman dive where he rolls, dives toward the middle of the ring, rolls out of it, and his hands are behind him like a bird.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I like it.
Yeah. Let's call that a feat of strength. Demonstrate your extraordinary strength.
All right.
You've got big powerful legs, apparently.
Yeah.
Plus power. Duty
All right, plus power. Let me just power. I'm at 0. Dice.
Come on, dice.
Oh, 3 + 6, 9.
Nice.
Yes.
On a 7 to 9, your obvious effort. Wait, that doesn't make sense. On a 7 to 9, it's an obvious effort. There we go. You gain +1 momentum. And your opponent or creative, picks 1. I will pick 1 because I'm creative.
I think maybe doing it with obvious difficulty, because it works with the fact that your character is like they show themselves as a bit more vulnerable to make other people look good.
Yeah, you do it with obvious difficulty. So like when you jump off that thing and roll, everyone's like, because they think you're gonna fucking break your old man hip.
Right.
But they love that you pulled it off.
Absolutely.
But they definitely are now acutely aware of how veteran you are.
Right.
So you can roll that to your advantage moving forward. But it sounds like everybody's here and ready, and you're already on the stage. So I'm wondering if there's a specific thing for first each player should describe their character's entrance. If you do anything in a particular pump up or insult the crowd, blah 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 blah. Is there a thing for deciding who goes first? Hand over the mic to whoever you want to be the announcer. I'm gonna have to be the announcer. And get started. If there isn't a free player, then you can play the announcer, blah, 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 blah. It's often clear from the context who starts in control of the match. It is, in fact, clear from the context who starts in control of the match. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Kid Unos. But first of all, let's establish some facts about our announcer. What's the name of our announcer?
Okay, we're going to make it a girl announcer.
All right.
To be progressive, all girl league. It's like it's socially progressive, but not economically progressive, or so says Ernie Fanders.
Absolutely.
Look, they've got great gender representation in the International Quarterly Hurtfest, but they don't have great. They don't have great. They don't have great representative government, management.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Anna Poehler.
Anna Poehler?
Anna Poehler. That sounds like a wrestling kind of name. It sounds like it's meant to be a pun on something, but you're not quite sure what.
No,
Yeah.
it's like I thought of the name and because I'm drinking a seltzer and the brand says Polar and I'm like
Yeah.
Amy Polar, Anna Polar. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
No, it sounds good. I like it.
So what are some characteristics of Miss Polar?
Ooh.
Some emotion, some, what is the word I'm looking for? Some personality quirks as opposed to like physical descriptions, because like
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
just going to be a voice in a box.
Okay.
First off, what accent are you worst at doing, Ray?
Hmm. I have difficulty doing anything other than a South African white person accent for Africa without it sounding racist. Like everything else, I don't feel comfortable saying. I'm not very good at South American or Central American accents because, again, I feel like I'm being a racial stereotype. I don't like doing Indian subcontinent accents, and I can't do any Asian accents without sounding racist.
Okay.
Pretty much the only accents I ever feel comfortable doing anymore is a South African white guy accent or an over-exaggerated Australian accent, because I know that the people that I'm going to offend with that accent, I don't care if they get offended. I don't care if some white guy from South Africa gets offended by the accent I do, because it's like, whatever, man.
You're in South Africa. You can't hurt me over here.
Well, they're too busy dealing with the prawns. All right. Well, yeah. Do you want to do like a very strong? I love the idea of this announcer being 110% Bogan.
All right, loves. We're gonna fucking watch some wrestling, eh, cunts?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah,
I apologize to American listeners.
Oh yeah,
For
so,
the use of the C word.
Yep. We do like down here, down under. Like it's not as bad. You call your best friend the C word, and it's totally fine.
Yeah, I recently.
Yeah, I heard like in Australia, you call your mates cunts, and you call cunts mates.
Yep. That's pretty much accurate.
Oh, that guy! Fuck that guy!
He's a fucking yeah. Just like, but yeah.
So calling someone, depending on context, calling someone cunt, bad. Calling someone a mad cunt, great. That's a mad cunt is praise.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, for American listeners who maybe like aren't,
I will attempt not to overuse that word.
We've got plenty of other things you can call.
Yeah.
You can call fans of the wrestling scene.
I could always just do the Archer joke and just say, "Oh yeah, he's a mad cunt."
All right.
So yeah, she's spoken. Sweet. All right, so I'm gonna be doing the fucking commentating, aren't I? We got this King of the Hill match. It looks like Kid Unos is going to be fucking jumping up in there first up. And now these other bastards are going to be trying to get in the ring. Once they fucking get up on there, it is on. It is go. It is start time. And then the others are like climbing up. Just like, all right, I fucking can't wait. Let's get that counter going. 10 minutes on the clock now. The ref is like counting you guys in. He's like, 3, 2, 1, and then like this big red digital clock starts ticking up on the jumbotrons. So Kid Unos, you have narrative control of the fight. You can ask for input from the other fighters, but ultimately you dictate. And so you describe a sequence of events that happens. And it doesn't have to necessarily end with you being. You can put yourself in a vulnerable position. You can actually describe a sequence where you get thoroughly beaten, but you still manage to retain narrative control.
Right.
Basically, because it's like you're getting thoroughly beaten, but it's to further your character's narrative, so that later on in the fight you can come back strong. You know.
Okay.
But you just describe some wrestling shit, man.
All right. Okay, so I mean, just give me an idea of like the geography of the scene. This
All right,
is King of the Hill match.
this is a big, a large square ring, pretty standard in that regards. And then in the middle, there's kind of this diamond-shaped podium that's been spray painted blue, and it's got a bit of a glittery shine to it as well. You're standing right next to it. The person that ends the match on top of that diamond is the person that is the King of the Hill, and wins the Azure Jewel. So you've got wrestlers coming in from 3 sides.
All right.
At you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little. Hold on. All right, let's scroll. All right, so
it's worth pointing out that because the hardcore is in this match, the hardcore violence stipulation has been added.
So what's that stipulation mean?
I think it's in the on this book. Hang on, let me scroll up. Does it describe it in here? I hope it does. There are lists of stipulations. Match stipulations. Hardcore violence. When you draw blood, use a weapon, or revel in violence in the ring, you can roll plus real to gain audience and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. All right.
The hardcore automatically adds that stipulation to every move, to every match they're in, because they always want to use weapons.
Right.
Okay. All right, so I feel like the hardcore is going to be the heeliest of heels and use a weapon from the outside. Mm-hmm. So is he allowed to leave? So are we allowed to leave the ring, and or we can?
Let me check the King of the Hill rules. I mean, he does have his entourage down there, so we can always just get them to pass him something.
Right.
In a King of the Hill match, features multiple wrestlers. Any wrestler thrown over the top rope is eliminated. But that's thrown over the top rope. So presumably if he slides out under the bottom
slides underneath. Okay. So all right, I'm going to start off with Dirty Claymore. He's going to slide under the bottom rope, grab like that ammo crate he had full of, like cigarettes and Jack Daniels and stuff, and he's going to throw it at me from up on the top while I'm still up there to try to knock me off.
Yeah. So he's gonna do that, and are you gonna try and like roll out of the way or what?
All right. So it's just a podium. It's not like there's chains or something suspending it or anything like that.
No. It's just a podium, like a box that's sat in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to dodge out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, is it possible? Is it possible I can like attempt to dodge but end up taking it to try to garner some sympathy? Or
yeah, you can totally do that if you want. If you want to try and use your other move thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll do that then.
Cool. So the monster has a move related to this, and I'm just wondering, not the monster, the veteran.
Yeah. Right.
So you took the put over, right? When you show vulnerability to opponent in the ring in order to make them look good. I mean, it kind of makes them look good. It makes him look like it enforces his role.
Yeah.
You can roll plus work. So, yeah, sure. Roll plus work.
All right, 2d6.
2d6 plus work.
So that is 2d6 plus work. Ooh, I get a 10.
On a 10, you both gain +1 audience. So the crate smacks into you, and it knocks you off the podium, and you like kind of flail around a bit. And he's like, making gang signs at the audience, and they're all cheering, and they're pouring out Jack Daniels on his behalf. And he just like nonchalantly walks over to the center podium and stands up on it. But don't forget to mark your extra audience there. Okay.
How much do I start with?
It should say on your character sheet.
Okay. And I actually do get an extra one from the veteran.
So it says start the work the audience. The veteran starts and resets to audience 2. Okay. So you start an episode with 1 momentum, which we already went over before. So now your momentum is 3. You don't
Right.
gain a momentum just because you went up to 3. It's only when you start an episode
Okay.
with 3.
Yep.
But that means you're really fucking close to 4, which is good.
Right. I have an audience, and I start with an audience of 2.
Yes.
Okay, so and now I have +1 audience.
Yes.
Okay.
So you should be at audience 3 now.
Right.
Cool. And your momentum, as far as I recall, is at 1.
Yes, because I have +1. Well, I have +1 at the beginning. Yeah, +1 at the beginning, and it starts at the beginning of the match. Okay.
Yeah. So, but you still have narrative control. So yeah, you sort of stumble back. What happens next?
All right, so I stumble back. I try to, climb up the ropes and try, I act like I'm injured, try to shake it off, and I start to get back in the fray.
Now remember that there are 2 other wrestlers in here, so try and work them in as well.
Okay. So
Any Fanders helps you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like checking that you're all right. Are you all right? You all right? And it's like, oh look, fuck is more concerned about checking on the wrestler's health than he is about winning. Oh mate, mate, that's a bad call. That's a bad call. Looks like the old comrade's coming up the rear there. He's gonna try and get the jump on him. So what's happening there, Kid Unos, as Ernie kind of gives you a helping hand, and comrade is sneaking up behind you.
All right. Ernest is like trying to I'm kind of cricking my neck a little bit. I'm like, I'm trying to wave him off. Like, no, I'm good. I can finish the match when the fuck comrade comes behind with a double clothesline to both of us.
Oh, nice. So, which would that be? Oh, right. So that's probably plus demanding or dangerous maneuver that showcases your technical wrestling. It's not that technical. I think it's the put your opponent or yourself at legit risk, because you can't see them, so you can't really prep for the maneuver super easily. So roll me plus power.
All right. I roll plus power?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And you're not challenging the person that's on top of the hill, so we don't use that. We use the standard wrestling.
All right, and another 9. It's
9.
power, so yeah, it's just 9.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, you hit it pretty well. So you're selling this pretty well. You can either retain control of the scene and transition to the next sequence, or you can give control to your opponent and you gain 1 momentum.
All right, more momentum's good. So
momentum is good because you can use it to increase rolls after the fact. So you roll 2. You roll a 9, and then you can spend 1 momentum to make it a 10.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna give up momentum to
give up
to comrade
control,
here.
rather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, yeah. Control.
So now you're in control, Peter.
Yeah.
And Eric, don't forget to mark that you just gained a momentum.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm up to 2 momentum.
So you've just sort of coat hanged these guys or whatever from behind. Do you want to go lay a beat down on the Dirty Claymore, who's currently just showboating up on the podium in the middle of the ring, just waiting for that countdown to go down? I need to make...
So I've got an idea, and please forgive me if this is not proper wrestling form. So, Comrade, after flooring both Ernie Fanders and Kid Unos, picks up Ernie Fanders, basically holds him above his head, roars, and throws him at Dirty Claymore.
Brilliant. That sounds like a that sounds to me I'm totally okay with that. That sounds to me like a power, probably, because you're putting your opponent or yourself at legit risk.
Okay, all right.
You are both
the good news is
specialized, or is it just the monster that's power specialized?
a monster is definitely power specialized.
Right.
So
Right,
the good news is,
Eric is specialized for work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's good for like actual technical things, whereas
Complex maneuvers. Yeah, cool.
So I rolled a 10 plus my power, so 13.
Wonderful. So you are challenging for the hill. On a 10, you rule, retain control of the match, and pick one. You become king of the hill, you gain 2 momentum, or you gain a heat with the current king of the hill.
Okay. I will. I'm gonna gain. I'm gonna gain heat.
Okay, so you gain a heat with Dirty Claymore. So +1 heat for Dirty Claymore.
Yep.
So he gets hit by
Ernie
Flanders, and he kind of like catches him, and sort of twists and drops Ernie, and then he's looking at you and he's like, he's shouting at you in the ring. It's indistinct, and is like, "Oh yeah, fucking oath, it's about to go off." And then from ringside, one of his entourage, Dirty Claymore's entourage, chucks something up into the ring, and it's it's a macoidal, which is an Aztec, and it looks like it's often described as an Aztec warrior's sword. So it's a wooden club lined with obsidian teeth.
Yep.
And written up the side of it, it says El Claymore.
All right. Okay. Well, wow. Yeah.
And more, and the word "more" seems to be in bold.
Okay. Oh my god. All right. So.
But you still have seen. Actually, do you? Yeah, you retain control of the match.
Yeah. So, Comrade is going to be completely unfazed by this and slowly start walking like towards Dirty Claymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Claymore charges at me and is about to swing at me with the
Claymore. The El Claymore.
The El Claymore.
Which I believe is just Spanish for the Claymore.
Yep. I'm gonna say that not any Fanders, Kid Unos, while he's still on the ground, like spins around, and with his legs, like basically trips me over, so that as Claymore swings his El Claymore at me, it goes over my head as I go down to the ground.
So it's not clear to the fan. Actually, I'll just do this using the commentator. Oh my God, Kid Unos just knocked Comrade down. I'm not quite sure if he was trying to take the Comrade out, or if he was actually trying to save him from Claymore's Claymore. I'm not quite sure. It's all very intense down here. It's we're going a mile a minute.
All right. So should I just make a roll for that?
That is roll plus. Roll me plus your heat with Kid. Is your heat with Claymore higher than your heat with Kid Unos?
They're both currently the same.
All right. Well, then roll me +2. Roll me plus your heat with either one then.
Yeah. So
because
+2.
Clearly something that draws on your background, and it's a share, and it's a memorable sequence to do with your history between Claymore and you and Kid Unos.
Okay. Right. So I rolled a 4. So plus the heat is 2. So spending momentum is I spend 1 momentum and
You can
it goes
spend
up.
as much momentum as you like,
Yep.
as much as you have, rather, to increase a roll. But
Okay.
you only need 1 to get it to a success. A 7 to 9 is a partial success. A 10 is an outstanding success.
Yeah. Then yeah, I'll just spend 1 momentum, so I'm down to 2. Increase that up to 7, so it's a partial success.
So you're challenging for the hill. You mix it up good. Creative ticks down the timer, and you pick 1. Ooh,
All
that means I tick it down twice. Interesting. Because you tick it down whenever a move is triggered, so that's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Pick 1. Someone else sabotages your valiant climb up the hill, gain +1 heat with them and give them control of the match. Or you need to work with someone, choose another wrestler to become king of the hill, but retain control of the match. So I think maybe you guys, you're not to the ground, but you and Kid Unos maybe see an opportunity to do something here. So basically, which option you pick just would kind of dictates whether Kid Unos was just trying to knock you down or whether he was trying to help you.
I like the helping part more, so
Cool.
I will go for you need to work with someone, choose another wrestler, and I choose Kid Unos.
Kid Unos, scrambles to the, basically does a freaking burpee and jumps onto the hill, and now you both kind of have purchase on Claymore. Claymore's no longer king of the hill, and he's kind of surrounded by you. Of course, Comrade is on the ground, but you're a big, powerful wrestler. It's not much effort for you to get up, so you still have narrative control. What do you do? What's happening? Mateo?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I thought I lost control. Apologies.
No. You retain control, but someone else becomes king of the hill.
Okay. Well, in that case, so yeah, I'll get up. Sort of like with a face full of rage. Kid Unos sort of is yelling at me and directs me towards fighting Dirty Claymore, but like I'm incredibly reluctant to let slide the fact that he tripped me up, but I do, and I'll say that actually, you know what, Ernie Sanders comes back for round 2, and jumps from the ropes and does a missile kick into my back.
Nice. This sounds to me like power. This is putting you at physical risk.
Okay. All right.
And it's a standard wrestling thing because you're not challenging for the hill.
We need to challenge for the hill more. I'm so sorry. All right. So I rolled an 8 plus my power is 3, so 11.
11, nice. On a 10, you gain a hit, retain control, and pick 1.
Right.
So you can describe this in a minute, but somehow you turn that missile kick against Ernie. You can either gain 2 momentum or you can gain heat with your opponent.
I will gain 2 momentum.
Cool. So how do you turn this on Ernie?
Can I turn it on Claymore instead, actually?
Sure. So, you can like fucking step out of the way and he goes flying into Claymore.
Well, I was thinking more like taking the hit, but like essentially that becomes momentum to like push me forward like directly at Claymore. So he's expecting me to slowly sort of walk up to him. Ernie Fanders from the ropes jumps in, kicks me in the back, which makes me essentially run forward. And Claymore's not expecting it, so I get into sort of his swing before he can really sort of get the the teeth of his claymore all up in my grill.
From ringside, and is shouting, "Oh man, it looks like Ernie's kick has reminded Comrade of that bottle of vodka he sculled at the beginning of the match. It looks like it's fucking starting to kick in. He's mad maggot.
Yes.
He is on the piss.
Right.
Listeners, he is on the piss.
All right. So
you still have narrative control. This happened. This happened last night when I played too. Somebody just kept rolling really well and just kept narrative control for like a whole half an hour sequence.
All right. I'm going to basically grab like with my. I'm gonna grab with one of my hands Claymore's arm to stop him from like swinging his claymore at me. And then with my other hand, I'm basically. I
should have had him have an actual fucking Highlander claymore sword. I didn't fucking think of that.
I thought you were mixing it up. I thought it was a nice touch.
Oh well, yeah.
Like, yeah, it would be a bit on the nose, but all right, this sounds different and interesting.
Maybe it's got like it's a McCoydle, but it's got like the Claymore V handle on it for seemingly no reason.
Absolutely. No, that sounds wonderful.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, like Manila seems like the only other place where it would be legal to bandy about a Claymore sword.
Yeah.
It is not, I'm pretty sure, in Manila.
Okay. So I am basically like with one hand, I've got the wrist of the hand holding the claymore. With the other, I'm gonna basically like pick him up by the waist or the leg and basically attempt to turn him like upside down and power slam.
Go for it.
Pick him up and attempt to slam him down. Come on.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 7, and assuming well, what stat would I be adding to it?
That's probably power by the sounds of it.
All right, then that's 3, so that's 10 again.
Brilliant. Do you want momentum or heat?
Can I become King of the Hill or?
You're not challenging for King of the Hill. He's not.
I thought I was. I was attacking Claymore, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Claymore's not the King of the Hill.
Oh my god!
It's Kid Uno. It's Kid Unos at the moment. Kid Unos is standing there, kind of catching his breath.
All right, fair enough. In that case, no, I want fucking heat with Claymore. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, all right. So take the heat with Claymore.
Yep.
Brilliant. You still have narrative control. So like Claymore's like slammed onto the ground and he's dropped his weapon and he's coughing and spluttering on the ground. He's like cradling at his neck. Ernie's kind of rolling on the ground. He's like slowly moving to get up. He's playing up his old man persona a bit.
Yep.
What are you doing?
So it's pretty much I've either through inaction or direct action I've basically disabled the other wrestlers for the time being. So I'm gonna go and gonna mess up Kid Uno's steez.
As you're walking over towards him, and is next to the crowd. Oh man, you can feel the tension in the air, listeners. These two that have been working together these last few months. I mean, Comrade's basically Kid Unos' like a younger wrestling brother, right? He's taken him under his wing. He's his protege. If you'll forgive the fucking big words. It's I mean, I can feel the emotion these two are fucking going through, right? It's like that scene in Star Wars, right? Like fucking Kid Unos here is Obi-Wan. He's got the high ground. Comrade's Anakin. You're meant to unite the force. You fuck. What are you doing? Don't fucking come at me, bro. Just let me win. Just let me ring out the timer. But you know what? I think Comrade's going to do it. I think their brotherly bond isn't enough to stop the fact that Comrade wants that jewel. Comrade need that jewel.
All right. Well, Well, I think a dramatic crowd pleaser would be pretty awesome. So, I don't know. Can you recommend anything?
I think that's to you, Eric.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So I guess it's time for Comrade's turn on the hill. So
something that can use the podium as a component as well would be cool.
Like maybe he shakes it or like tries to pick it up, or
Oh
just
my
something
God.
that would unseat me.
Oh well, just to imagine that it's basically a step up, right? So like I don't know if you can think of something that would use that as a component.
Okay, I was assuming it was like like at eye level. It was like about 5 feet off the ground.
It's not that high because I feel like a large, it's a larger one would be hard. It's basically I feel like it's
basically just a bit of a raised dais.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I'm imagining like it's in the center of the ring. It's not too big. It can fit like one person.
Okay.
Maybe they're larger in other wrestling leagues, but here they want you to be constantly stepping up and off of it.
All right.
So they make it easier to step up on.
So I mean, but still, like, is it like how big is it? Or is it something that you can be picked? Is it something that can be picked up? Because if it's not that high,
I think it could be picked up if you weren't standing on it, right?
Yeah. If it didn't have however many kilos of muscle you are, like it could probably be picked up.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, Comrade's really as strong as people say he is.
All right.
Yeah. It's true. Okay. Maybe you just fucking table flip the dais.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's roll for table flip.
All right.
I think that's a demonstration. I think you can either use. Well, you're challenging for the King of the Hill, right?
Yeah.
So, with power.
Yep.
Using power.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's make this roll. Oh my God! I rolled a 7. So this is I rolled a 4 plus 3 power 7.
7. Do you want to spend any momentum?
Nah, I'm happy with a conditional success.
All right. You mix it up good. Creative ticks down the timer by 1. Yep. Cool. Someone else sabotages your valiant climb up the hill.
Okay.
Or you need to work with someone.
I will say someone else sabotages me.
Claymore picks up the claymore, the McCoydle, and just fucking throws it at you from across the ring.
Yes.
And it just smacks into your back.
Oh no!
And the audience sees the foam larp weapon that it is kind of bend a little bit as it hits you, but they pretend like it's very rigid.
Of course.
You sell it. You gain +1 heat with them, and you give me control of the match.
All right. Well, I'm happy giving it to Eric.
I'll do a quick bit. I'm gonna trade off pretty swiftly.
Yep.
So Claymore goes to rush at the podium and try and flip it over. And as he's running across the ring, Ernie just grabs him by the ankle and he trips. And then Ernie very exhaustedly climbs up over the top of over Claymore. So you're all kind of near the middle of the ring, and Ernie's like reaching out to the podium, scrabbling to try and flip it off of Kid Unos's back so that he can then like put his hand on it and climb up to it, because you can hear that 10-minute timer ticking down in the background, and he's desperately trying to scramble on top of the thing. And then I think I will trade off to Eric there, to Kid Unos, as everyone's kind of scrambling, reaching out from the floor for the podium, and you're sort of laying there. What do you do?
All right, me. Okay, it's my turn. So I'm getting up, and I'm looking at Ernie Flanders, who's now setting up the podium again. So where's everyone else at this junction?
Okay, so you're all sort of just to the left of the middle of to the right rather of the middle of the ring. The podium was just flipped over, just as the podium was flipped over. Then old mate fell over, and now the podium's just been flipped back over. And everyone's kind of reaching out to try and pull themselves up on top of it from the ground in a big pile of muscle. Except for you, you don't have anyone on top of you.
Okay.
But they're all very close to you.
All right. Let me see. So I see Ernie Flanders and Ernie Fanders. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna try to make my play for the hill. So I see Claymore and Monster are like predisposed. They're on top of each other. They're probably going to be duking it out. There's some heat between them. So I'm going to try to get a running start. I'm going to try to shake myself off, get a running start, and try to spear Ernie Fanders off the podium.
All right. For it.
All right.
That sounds like a pretty memorable sequence. Let's go with did you guys feel like that had a lot of technical components?
I mean, it's just a spear.
Yeah,
that's not.
Well, I guess it's like it's like
it's
we
super
got
technical, and it's not like a signature move. So I think it's roll plus heat.
Okay.
So do you have any heat with Ernie?
No, I think is Ernie a face or a heel?
That's true. He's probably a face.
Yeah, so I have no heat with him.
Yeah. So roll plus 0.
All right. Let's do this.
I believe in you.
7.
Nice. I mean, a 7 will work.
Yeah.
I think this is challenging for the hill. Actually, yeah, it's challenging for the hill. You mix it up good. Creative ticks down the timer by 1.
Okay.
Someone else sabotages your valiant climb to the hill, or you need to work with someone. Choose another wrestler to become king of the hill.
All right. I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to work with someone and get Monster to the king of the hill because he hasn't gotten there yet.
All right. So, how does that happen? You describe for me, Eric, how we get to that point from there. So you said that you were doing something to Ernie.
Right. So I go for the spear, but like we both fall off because the momentum carries us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I try to so then I'll try to pick him up and try to get him over the top. So we start scuffling. That's how we leave the that's how like I kind of give Monster the go ahead.
And then you see the podium's open there, comrade, and you put your hand on it, and we hear like swirling, stirring Russian militaristic music playing over the stadium speakers as after this long slog through this 10-minute fight, you like pull yourself up onto it. It's very, very stirring. You swell with pride for whichever motherland you happen to be from. But Eric, you still have narrative control. Comrades up there feeling swelling with national pride.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is, I'm a face. Fanders is a face. That dynamic's not going to work. So like at this point, I think like Dirty Claymore is trying to get up, and I'm going to make a run to try to eliminate him while he's still down.
Yeah. Do you want to like try and throw him over the top rope?
Yeah.
Because if you throw him over the top rope, he's eliminated. He can't come back in.
Okay.
So what does it look like as you try to throw him over the top rope? You scoop him up.
Yeah. So he's lying on the floor. I'm gonna like try to bring him up from.
He does have a shirt, so you know you could like grab his vest or whatever.
Right. So I'm going to try to grab him by the vest. So stand behind him, grab him by the vest, yank him upwards, and then try to get my arm underneath his crotch and pick him up into a fireman's carry, and then just scoop him over.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That sounds like I would allow work. There's a lot of moving parts to scooping a dude off the ground.
Yeah.
Right. All right. 2d6. 5. All right. No, hold on. +1 for work.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings me up to 6, and I think I'm going to spend the momentum to get a conditional.
So you get it to 7.
Yeah.
You retain control and transition to the next sequence, or give your opponent control and gain 1 momentum. In this instance, your opponent would be comrade because you succeeded. So you do throw old mate out of the ring.
All right. I'm gonna get +1. I'm gonna give myself +1 on momentum and cede control to monster. I'm sorry. That's a comrade.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, you throw him out of the ring. Do you have any witty ending line?
This is what happens that's what happens when you fight dirty.
All right.
That'll work.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone's king of the hill. We could have somebody use the if you are king of the hill thing. So probably you want to describe that a bunch of people are try to charge your podium, so that you don't have to get off of it.
Yep. All right. So, oh man, I like the idea of both Ernie and Kid Unos charging me at the same time, attempting to take me off the podium, and essentially making a big show of the muscle that they're putting into it, and me essentially pretending that it's like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That
sounds like power.
Yeah, that's kind of how
You're doing a muscle man display. No, you're
pretty much
as you push them away.
Absolutely. All right, I'll flex.
Mm-hmm.
And oh Jesus Christ, I got a 1 and a 3. So that's 4 plus power is 7. So it's a conditional success.
Mm-hmm. You maintain. Creative ticks down the timer by 1.
Okay.
And you get to pick one from the list. You keep control of the hill, but you give a challenger control of the match, or you are dumped off the hill. Choose who dethrones you and give them control of the match, but gain 1 heat with them.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say that while I'm busy, sort of essentially attempting to fend off Ernie Sanders. Kidonos takes his chance, and once again floors me using what's something technical and interesting for Kidonos to do, Eric.
So I feel like something big off of what the turnbuckle. So I guess to go with all the Birdman imagery, probably does a swan dive or a diving a diving kick.
Okay, so yeah, once again from the ropes, I'm laid low. So you do a swan dive, which while I'm distracted by Ernie, pushes me off, and you find yourself on the podium instead. And I will gain 1 heat with you.
Okay. And it's reciprocal. I also gain 1 heat with the comrade.
That's not what it says. He just gains 1 heat with you.
So basically, I want revenge.
Yeah. You took this from me.
I will equally redistribute your brains to the floor.
And give them control. Yeah, you also have control of the match now, Eric.
Okay.
So you're back in control, and now you're king of the hill.
Yeah.
Who comes at you?
I'd say so. Just to carry the monsters probably off. So I guess the only one left is Ernie Fanders.
Yep.
I mean, unless Comrade makes a quick recovery.
Oh yeah.
Remember,
So
these sequences aren't like, they're not turn by turn combat like in other games. So there can be multiple things happening. Like, he could get up and
right.
So
okay, I got one.
it can take a few minutes. That's fine.
Right. So Ernie Fanders starts like trying to like get me in a lockup, and I have the high ground. I'm like pushing down on him. He's not making much progress when out of nowhere, Monster just comes and like wham, just like one big like knockout punch right to the jaw. Because I didn't expect him to get up so fast, I wasn't paying attention to him.
Mm-hmm.
So just as I push Ernie Fanders away, start to get up, start to catch my breath a little bit, just get knocked right in the side of the face with a big hook.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
So roll me plus your heat with Comrade.
All right.
This sounds like a memorable moment.
Right.
In your relationship.
Okay, so it's +5, but I also have +2 heat with Comrade.
Mm-hmm.
So I go up to 7.
All right, and you are defending. So I love this. This is great. I tick down. You see that the clock is in its final 2 minutes.
Oh.
And you get to pick one. You can either keep control, but you stay on the hill, but give narrative control up, or you can be dethroned and gain 1 heat with the person that dethrones you.
All right, I'm going to keep narrative control. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep the hill, but cede the control.
All right, so cool. Yeah, he punches. You punch Kin Unos, and he kind of like sways a bit on the podium, and then like bounces back up. And he endured your punch surprisingly well. Maybe he was only pretending to not see you coming.
All right. Well then, I will sort of roar with rage as Ernie Fanders jumps onto my back and attempts to bring me down.
Mm-hmm.
So I will essentially swing around, get him off my back, and attempt to throw him out of the ring.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That sounds like power.
Okay, excellent. I'm making use of the one stat I'm good at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I rolled 6 plus my power 3, so I'm 9. I'm going to spend 1 momentum.
Yep.
To bring it up to 10.
So you maintain control, and this is probably a standard because you're not firstly going against the guy who's in control of the hill.
Yep.
So you can either gain 2 momentum or 1 heat with Ernie.
I will gain 2 momentum, so that will be a net bonus.
Cool. So you chuck Ernie over the side. Do you have a witty one-liner that you say? Something about his political system would be great.
Absolutely. Looks like you got DNC denied.
That works. I was going to go for something about there are no bloodless revolutions, but that
would be good too. I was just trying to think of like the most 80s like movie villain sort of line I could think of.
Throw him over. You've still got narrative control, and the clock is ticking down. It is at this point that I will reveal to you guys who's billed to win.
All right.
You're both feeling exhausted and tired from this very full-on fight, and you know that this is meant to end with you both on the podium.
Oh, what?
What?
Because the second match of the night, as you well know from rehearsal, is that you're going to be fighting the Azure Fist together as a tag team.
All right. No.
All right. All right. Then my idea is
actually, it's not even a tag team, really. It's you're going to both be going up against him.
All right. Yep. So
sort of a Hunger Games ending, basically, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna say perhaps using my immense physical strength, I attempt to pick up Kid Unos, and as you're sort of struggling with me while I'm holding you and carrying you, and I step onto the podium. So we're both technically on the podium. The timer ticks down.
Yeah, and I think like you're giving me a bear hug and like trying to squeeze that last little bit out of me. But like by the time you're bear hugging me, like bam, like it clicks down and we're both on the thing.
Yep.
Okay, so
and
want...
like even like after the siren sort of wails, like, and the referees are like coming in, like
yeah,
I'm
the referees
still
are all looking at each other, and Paul is like, oh my god. So the timer's run out, and they're both on the podium. The refs are discussing. I'm looking up at the manager's box, and the God King does not look impressed. Oh my goodness, the refs. Okay. Well, it looks like the God King is storming out of his box. I've got word from backstage. The God King is apparently coming downstairs.
He'll sort that shit out.
And you two are kind of looking at each other. What is the word I'm looking for? Comrade, I want you to roll your finishing move stat.
Sure.
So that's on the, it'll just be 2d6.
Yep, 2d6.
But they have different mechanics sometimes.
Yep. Okay.
I'll be right back. I'm just getting a quick drink.
Yep,
No
that's
worries.
fine.
So I rolled a 7.
Cool. So on a 7 to 9, you make it work for you. Either
they make me work for it. So
they make you work there. So either you showcased your strength, or and
they're unwilling to take my finisher and flee the ring. I think they showcase my strength.
So, so like you're lifting him up and squeezing him. So you remember that momentum because you're going to need that for the next fight.
Yep.
And we'll remind Eric when he comes back in a second.
No worries. So yeah, like I'm squeezing the life out of Kid Unos, and the referees are coming in and like, no, let him go. The fight's over. The fight's over. Stop. He's already dead.
You're killing him.
So yeah, no, it's just kind of like, yeah.
That sounds like Eric is back because I heard a can opening.
Yep.
So you gain a momentum, by the way, because of Comrade's finishing move.
Okay.
We didn't roll yours because it felt like it was Kid. It felt like it was Comrade triggering, not Kid Uno's.
Yeah.
So the Azure Fist comes down as the refs have like separated you and moved you to other sides of the ring, and he's walking down the ramp, and like lightning is flashing, and like a not an acoustic, but it's a special name for a track where they remove the vocals and they just have the an instrumental version of Hammerfall's Crimson Thunder is playing. Everyone, knows that it's the Sapphire Thunder or the Blue Thunder or the Purple Thunder that's coming across. And he's walking down the launch, the ramp, with his like fists balled up at his side, and he's kind of storming down, and he gets to the bottom of the ramp, and he must be mic'd up. Must have like a Britney mic or something. And he puts up his hands and he goes, "What the hell is this? Are you trying to make a mockery of my throne? Are you trying to insult me? Do I amuse you? Do you like to embarrass me in front of my loyal subjects? You can't even give me a definitive winner. Clearly, I need to step up, and the king needs to teach you a lesson." And he rips off his suit jacket, and you see somebody come out from ringside with a guy in a security, like a black security polo, and on his back is a purple gemstone logo.
Yep.
And he's holding like this case, this beautiful jeweled case, and he opens it up, and inside there are 2 knuckle dusters.
Oh my god.
Azure Fist picks up, and they've got big sapphire gemstone looking things on the knuckle dusting parts. He's like, I'm gonna step into the ring one last time, and whichever one of you manages to remain standing can take the crown.
Oh wow, that was good.
And he climbs up. He climbs up into the ring, and they move the podium off. There's people like throwing you up some sports drinks to rehydrate quickly. I guess they hide your sports drink inside of a bottle of vodka.
Yeah. Product placement.
It's Smirnoff lemon.
Yep.
It's totally not Gatorade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody want to try and work the audience or anything? Does anyone want to grab a mic and call out the Azure Fist as he's like working himself up? And while you guys think about that, just give me 1 second.
No worries.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to grab the mic. I mean, Kid Unos is going to grab the mic, and he is going to say, listen here. You left. It's not up. So, God, I'm sorry. Give me a second here.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's like I'm a little under the weather, so I'm a little dehydrated.
That's okay. I'm gonna down my vodka bottle and once again break it over my head.
Brilliant.
While Kidonos is finding the right words to say.
You could try and work the audience.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna
You can use intimidate. You can use your intimidate power for that. If you step down off the ring.
I'm gonna step down off the ring, and basically I'll go into up to the audience, and I'm imagining that some of them have folded chairs or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna be like, give me one, give me folded chair. King have knuckle dusters. I will have chair.
You need sturdy people's chair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I take it, and sort of it's a plant, so it's like it's a really easy to collapse sort of fake one.
Yeah, it's a
I
planted chair.
pick it up, and I'm like, what is this? And I crush it with my hands, and I'm like, this is not chair. I need something stronger to take on the king.
Yeah, you're really working the audience up into a frenzy as they progressively hand you chairs, and you're just crushing them.
Yes.
We've just got a whole row of chairs for you to crush. So roll me work the audience with. Actually, yeah, that's work the audience who actually don't.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's plus audience, not plus look or anything like that. Because you're not cutting a promo.
Yep. So I believe at audience 1.
Yes.
So I rolled a 6 on the dice plus 1, so it's a conditional success.
Cool. You pop, pick one, gain momentum, or take control of the match that you're about to be in.
I think I'd like momentum, please. So.
All right, gain a momentum.
Thank you.
Cool. And did you have anything you wanted to say, Kindunos?
Yes, I did. So I'm going to try to read more point. No, you don't get to come back here and decide because you left. You left the throne. Hey, if you didn't want this to happen, you would have stayed in here. But hey, look, there's only one of us who's been in this company for longer than X amount of years. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. I've been fighting. So why don't you do the right thing and just leave?
All right, cut me that promo. Roll plus look, unless you have something that lets you use another stat.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna roll plus look.
Cool.
I feel like my character's not enough of a meanie pants to like just throw the Gatorade bottle at him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, cool.
6 + 3 is 9.
Nice. Do you want to spend a momentum to get it to a 10?
Yeah.
Cool. You connect with the audience and gain 1 momentum.
Fuck yeah.
Pick one from the 7 to 9 list. So you're not going to make them book you in a match. You could add a stipulation to this match. You could gain another momentum, or you could gain heat with the subject of your promo. And the Azure Fist is a heal, so
Okay.
you already have heat 1 with him.
All right. Let's see. This one. Let me just write that down. I'm sorry. Azure
Yeah, that's
Fist.
fine. I anticipate this match being pretty short as well.
Okay, so like something like heat maybe would probably go a little better.
Heat would let you make Heat would let you roll do stuff that involves your background rather than technical wrestling stuff.
Okay.
You'd have 2 heat, you'd be rolling +2 then.
Right.
If it was stuff that like draws on your background with the Azure Fist, which you seem to have cultivated a bit of a background with him.
Yeah.
Right.
And that would definitely make sense for your character.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I'm the lead. Hey, listen, I'm the new legacy guy. So yeah, number 2.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna take the heat.
Cool. So you gain a heat with him. I think we're ready to rock and roll.
All right.
I think
I wanted that on my tail end. This is you can't get involved in this. This is between me and the comrade. So yeah, like just throw that somewhere in there. You can edit it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, he like scrapes the 2 knuckle dusters against one another, and then throws his hands up in the air, and all these lightning effects go off, and some pyrotechnics explode from up in the screen. So it looks like that big jumbo screens above the ring have like shorted out.
Yeah.
And all this purple light flashes through the arena, and he's like, I have the power to bring you to ruin. And then he sort of takes a few big swinging dick steps towards you, Kid Unos, and he says, I don't care what you think. If you want the crown, you've got to fight the king. And the match is set to begin.
Dang.
All right.
So who do we feel has narrative control?
I would say like Kid Unos.
Yeah, I'm the one in his, I'm the one in his face.
Yeah, and the one who has the history with him.
Yeah,
right.
Go for it.
All right. So the bell goes off. I start to lock up with him. I'm going to say that because I'm looking at the hardcores questions, I think that you and Azure Fist do have a bit of a background together in that you are known for being able to take everything that Azure Fist can dish out in the ring. Right.
He is a hardcore. He's there's that a bit of that between you, and that whenever he's fought it, like maybe you've won and he's won some, but it's never him just totally destroying you when he's won. It's you've always been like coming back for more. You've always stood back up, bloody and broken.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to give you a bit of flavor.
Ooh, okay.
But you have narrative control.
Right. So I'm going to start him in a lockup, and then, like most matches, we'll start with a little chain wrestling. When I feel like one of his side kind of lean to the side, grab his wrist, and get him in a rear wrist lock.
Yeah. You pull that arm up behind him. And he like tries to swipe at you, then you like grab his arm and you're twisting it around, and he's trying to break free. Is this technical, or is it drawing on your background together?
Let me see. I'd say it's more technical, but if it's something like, oh, I know his left side's a little weaker than his right side, or he falls for that constantly.
Yeah. From the ringside and is like, oh my goodness, the fucking Kings just come in swinging. And, oh my god. The kid's just fucking grabbed his arm. He's gonna rip it out of his sockets. Oh, that's a fucking crazy maneuver. That takes some skill and precision to pull off properly. Roll me plus work.
Okay. I'll roll you plus work. 10.
Nice. Yeah. I should mention that your roles have moves, how your baby faces and heels, right?
Yeah.
When you stand up, this is the baby face one. When you stand up for something you believe in, spend 2 momentum and pick one of the following. You can either gain a heat with your opponent, leave your opponent speechless, make creative book you in a match, or add a stipulation to a match. The heel one is when you do something underhanded to get what you want, spend 2 momentum and pick one of the following. Gain a heat with your opponent, win a match. This overrides creative's booking. Leave someone helplessly lying on the floor, or get out of a match you've been booked in. I don't think any of those are going to be particularly useful for you guys, but I thought I should mention it. So you got a 10.
Okay.
So you retain control, and you can either gain 2 momentum or gain a heat with your opponent.
I'm going to gain 2 momentum.
Cool. So you have 2 momentum. You have control. You've got him up in that wrist lock. Don't forget that at some point, Comrade needs to get into the ring.
Okay. I am going to get him in a position of vulnerability and try to transfer it into an armbar.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay. So an armbar, for those unfamiliar, when, in the Marvel movies, when Black Widow grabs a dude's arm and fucking almost and flips him over in mid-air by like being up on his arm. In real life, that would break your arm.
Right.
But basically, that's an armbar.
Okay.
I believe that's my understanding of what an armbar looks like. Less acrobatic.
Yeah. Well, a proper armbar is basically when you hold somebody down on the floor and you like isolate one of their arms and you like try to bend their elbow back and break their wrist.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a submission maneuver.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, my swivel chair fell apart slightly. That's fine. I'm throwing this one out anyway. Cool. So you still have narrative control. Are there any other components to this sequence you want to add in? What happens to how does this armbar progress, right?
So the armbar, after he gets the armbar, after Kid Uno's locks in the armbar, Comrade starts like finally finds a proper chair for him to utilize, and then wails on the Azure Fist's stomach.
Cool. So you storm up into the ring. Do you say something just as you're about to start beating him with the chair, or even during beating him with the chair? It punctuating each word with a chair strike.
Just something along the lines of, "I have your throne right here.
Here's your throne."
Yes.
Cool. That sounds like That sounds like heat to me. Kirunos. So roll plus heat.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I'm trying to find the friggin' thing. Okay.
So 2d6 plus heat.
Okay. 2d6 plus heat. Shit. Where'd my okay, here we go. 2d6 plus heat. All right. All right, 8, and I got 2 heat with him, so another 10.
Nice. You retain control. Do you want more momentum or more heat?
I'm gonna go with more momentum.
Cool. So 2 momentum to you, and you still have control. So comrades just beat him a few times with the chair, and you've still got him in that armbar. What's the next sequence? Maybe he wriggles free, and then you two have to like scrap with him or something, or maybe he gets sweeps someone with his free legs, or whatever.
Right. So I'm going to go. So I'm going to go in for the pin, but he kicks out of it, and then as I get then as like I'm kind of as he pushes me up, he kicks me in the face.
Cool. Roll. Does Comrade get involved in this at all?
Comrade is like still. So Comrade tries to wait his turn to get his shots in. So he kind of waits to the side for a little bit to get another clear shot.
All right. So roll me plus work, I think, for you for this one, because there's a lot of coordination needed for this to go off, right?
Right.
You need to know that Comrade needs to know to like stay back, and the Azure Fist needs to break free in a specific way that makes it interesting and engaging.
I'm going to go with 9.
Nice. On a 7 to 9, it looks pretty. You hit it pretty well. You can either retain control and transition to the next sequence, or give your opponent control and gain a momentum. So it can be Comrade's turn.
I'll make it Comrade's turn.
Cool. So you gain a momentum, Eric.
Yep. Okay.
And it is now Comrade's turn.
Okay. So the Azure King. So what's he done? So he's kicked you in the face, is it? Or
yeah, he just kicked him in the face.
Yeah.
You're sort of standing to the side with that chair. It's a bit dented now.
All right. I'm gonna say that basically I've thrown away the chair because it's kind of like, I make a joke. Oh, the throne, it is falling apart. Ha ha ha. In the meanwhile, the Azure King has gotten up, and he's basically standing over you. Actually, no, I'm gonna say he's sitting across your upper body and like choking you.
Yes.
Which is as far as I understand, like in wrestling, totally not okay. Maybe
it's not okay, but he's a hardcore, so the hardcore violence is in effect.
Yep. Okay. So Comrade sees this, roars, and basically I attempt to like tackle him off you. So yeah,
that sounds like power.
All right, let's do this.
This could put you at injury. It could put everyone involved at injury.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've got 5 on the dice, plus 3 for power. That's 8. It's a partial success.
You could spend 2 momentum and get it to 10.
Yeah. All right. I'll spend. I've got a lot of momentum, so I'll spend 2 to get it to 10.
All right. You maintain control. Do you want 2 momentum or a heat with your opponent?
I would like heat with the Azure King, please.
Brilliant. So take that on down.
All right. So, I've knocked him off you, and like you're catching your breath. I get down on one knee, and I go to sort of help you up. So we do like the man grab, sort of grabbing each other's sort of wrists, and I pull you up.
The Mongol handshake.
Yes, the Mongol handshake. And it's just kind of like it's my turn from heel to babyface.
Do you actually want to turn to face? Because that is a move.
Sure. So it's just kind of like, you are my mentor. I will honor your legacy.
When you deliberately break your roll, you make a turn and switch to its opposite. Gain 1 heat with everyone now opposed to you. So now, because you're a face, you gain heat with Azure Fist because he's a heel.
All right, cool. So yeah, so we're both baby faces. And so what is, like, let's take the Azure King down together.
Be co-captains. Be co-kings. Co-console.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, like, what do you suggest, Eric, for our characters to do together as like
some kind of chained move where you're both kind of,
Yeah, obviously.
Pinballing him backwards and forwards.
Right. So I think this is going to be really cool. So I figure, like, you pick up the Azure Fist because you're so strong. You're the monster type character, and you give him like a little shoulder press up in the air, and then I do like a front kick. I just like front kick him right in the gut.
Oh yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah,
cool. Add more stuff to that. This is gonna be a longer sequence.
Okay.
Where do you go from the kick?
All right. So I think. So listen, the Azure Fist. I mean, that was a pretty dope ass move, but the Azure Fist is not going down that easy.
No.
So
he's apparently a god king. He's a fucking wizard infused with the power of sapphire stones from Gem Mountain, Montana.
Yeah.
Which, as we all know, a very mystic locus of energy.
Absolutely.
Gem Mountain, Montana.
All right. So, right. Kirunos goes in for the pin. 1, 2, and like just as the 3, the crowd like starts counting along. He kicks out, gets up, and like we're standing back, shocked that he managed to kick out of our totally wicked awesome move. And then then he puts his like big signature move. So the Azure Fist just like wham, like a sucker punch right in the stomach. You're winded, and while you're like out of commission, he puts his finishing move on me.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember what Azure Fist's finishing move is. Give me a second to look at the images because I'll remember in a second.
No worries.
I believe it was it was called the. I think it was. Hang on a second. It was a. Oh, it must not be. They must not have all the. Oh, there it is. It was called the Gem Mountain Pile Driver. No, the Montana Pile Driver. So it's very similar to a normal pile driver, except beforehand, as you like grab them by the waist to lift them up, you kind of let go for a half. You as you're lifting them up, you sort of hold them with one hand and you rip one of their legs down. So it's sort of you're sort of like, forcing them into a bit of a split before you slam them down into the ground, because it exposes the jewels.
Yep. Oh god. All right.
It's the Montana Pile Driver.
Sounds good.
He put the Montana Pile Driver on you.
Eric.
Okay.
Yeah. You cool?
Yes.
That?
Yeah. Yes.
So
with the Montana.
He just fucking scoops you up and flips you around, and you're very disorientated, and then he like rips your leg open, and you scream in pain, and he like slams you down into the ground.
Okay, then so should I make a roll for that since it's
Yes,
our
I
roll?
think this is a. I think this is probably work or
Like my
heat.
roll in it is largely like power based, but I can make a roll for heat.
Yeah, I think we'll go with heat because there's a lot of lots of people calling on like their paths of one another, their signature moves. It involves a lot of coordination between you guys.
Yep. Okay, so I've got 10 on the dice and 2 heat with the Azure King, so that's 12 altogether.
12 altogether, which takes us to you can retain control. First of all, retain control. Do you want 2 momentum or a heat?
Okay, I will go for extra heat.
Oh, so get hit with the Azure Fist.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, and
So,
you're still in control of the sequence. Probably you guys want to maybe we should just roll for your finishing move now.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm gonna suggest, Eric.
Okay.
So your character is pretty much down and out, right? With the finisher having been done on you.
Yeah.
So like I'm imagining the Azure Fist sort of like making a show of your defeat.
Yeah,
So
and
you're
it's
sort of
calling
lying
from the
on
ring. Oh my God! It looks like the Azure Fist has taken the kid Unos out. He's writhing with pain, but he's trying to say something. He's trying to say something to comrade, his young protege. He must be trying to give him advice, trying to expose one of the Azure Fist's weaknesses. Work that into your dialogue. Go.
All right. So the Azure Fist is sort of making a show and humiliating you while you're on the ring. You're sort of on your back. You turn to me. You say something along the lines of "He's weak on his right," or his left doesn't hit as hard, or something along those lines. And sort of I do the baby face thing of I stand up for what I believe in. You are not worthy to be king.
All right. Do you want to trade in 2 momentum?
Yes.
So you spend 2 momentum and pick one from the following. You can gain heat with your opponent, leave your opponent speechless, or add a stipulation to the match, or make a creative book you in a match.
I will gain 1 last heat. Here's your king.
Cool.
And I'm gonna use. I'm gonna charge in.
What's your hit at now with him?
4.
So something happens with a 4. I'm pretty sure. Whenever you work a match with a character who you have 4 heat with, you gain an audience.
Right.
So
all right. So do you want me to milk it a little bit more? Just like
no, that's fine.
You're not worthy to be king. Like
no, that's fine. Now tell me.
For too long you sat on your throne. It is time that you learn what it is to be the common man once more.
No kings, no masters.
Exactly. No kings, no gods, no god kings. Yep, I charge in with my finisher.
So describe to me your finisher before you actually roll your finishing move, and then describe to me what it looks like.
Cool.
So 2d6.
All right, I got 2d6, which is on the dice it reads 7. I'm gonna add my last 3 momentum to make it a 10. Yeah.
So on a 10, what does it say?
On a 10, it says.
It's on your character sheet.
On a 10 plus, you hit your finisher clean, gain +1 audience.
Cool.
That's pretty much all that's there.
Yeah, cool.
But the
so
finisher
you gain
itself,
an audience, so it looks fantastic. The crowd's going off, but describe to us what it looks like.
Yeah. I'm trying to like.
Your fist
I don't really
exploding,
know.
and then you say your line about deposing the king, and then you fucking charge in and. All
right. So can it be like a sequence of moves, or?
Yeah, totally. It can totally be a sequence of moves. It doesn't have to be a one-hit thing.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna say that I sort of run in.
Mhm.
I like the idea of charging and picking him up, throwing him over my shoulder, and turning it into sort of like a muscle buster.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's where I'm looking at the pictures here.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like, it looks like I throw him over my shoulders and then like fall back on him.
Yeah, that kind of looks like what's going on there.
Yeah. I apologize for anyone who's listening and being like, this is the worst finisher I've ever heard. Well, my apologies, good friend.
Clearly, it's a Russian muscle buster, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
My understanding
is
is that's my understanding in wrestling is that if you want to do something that's like a pre-existing move but slightly different,
Yep.
and maybe wrong, you just add a word in front of it.
Yep, an adjective. Okay, sure. So yeah, let's. What can we do to like mix it up a little bit and make it go from just a regular muscle buster to a Russian muscle buster?
Have him face the other way.
All right. Oh wow, that is dangerous. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, as I pick him up,
That's why it's banned everywhere except the Soviet Union, which is no longer a country.
Absolutely. The announcer's just kind of like, no, it's the Russian muscle buster.
Oh no, he's pulling out a Russian muscle buster. This has been banned in all competitions, but as we know, this is a no-hold-barred match. The Azure King made it so himself. Oh no!
The sweet irony.
Our Montana macho man. Oh, the humanity.
Oh no. So yeah, like I do a Russian muscle buster as a finisher and avenge my fallen mentor.
Yeah, at the end, the fucking crowd is losing their minds. Everyone's screaming. Everyone's screaming, "Comrade Unos, Comrade Unos, Comrade Unos."
Oh, beautiful.
They're losing their goddamn minds. Azure King is lying there on the ground, and he's like whispering, something, and then like the ref comes in, and he's but there must be a microphone on the ref's shirt or something, and we hear like this kind of echoey, ghosty voice coming through the arena. Is like, finally, a worthy successor. And then like the lights go off in the whole arena, and then like they flicker back on, and all these pyrotechnics explode from anything that even vaguely looks electrical. There's purple lightning flashes. These smoke machines go off on the ring, and the whole ring's clouded in this purple smoke as like lightning is flashing. It's like if a rock band, like a stadium rock band, tried to do a recreation of the quickening scene from the end of Highlander.
Right.
And then the smoke clears and the lights come back on, and the Azure King, the Azure Fist is gone. And all that remains in the middle of the ring are his two gem-encrusted knuckle dusters.
And
one last addition. The sapphires are no longer sapphires; they're rubies.
Yeah, because communism.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I thought of the next level up. We each take one of the knuckle dusters, put it on each of our like dominant hands, and then do a bro fist.
Yeah, yes. It's power twins activate.
Yup. Sounds good.
Yeah, fantastic. It's a new era in the International Quarterly Hurtfest. Brilliant. So that is Worldwide Wrestling RPG.
What a wild ride.
I think we'll start. Mateo, what did you think of it as a person that's not that familiar with wrestling? I don't know how familiar with role-playing games you are even.
I'm pretty familiar with role-playing games, and this is like, with this system, I very much enjoy it. I've played Monster Hearts before, and I sort of knew the mechanics.
You knew the basic, the game design premise, right?
Yeah. And fuck, this made me interested in fucking wrestling. Now I feel like I should go off and watch.
I know, right?
Wow.
Eric, as a
this is
person that is familiar with wrestling, what did you think of it? How well do you feel it emulated the feeling of wrestling?
I think it does a very good job encouraging that kind of back and forth storytelling that wrestling is all about, and all about those big moments, all about those big, it focuses more on events and changing control. And yeah, that's pretty much what wrestling is when you really get down to it. So
it very much highlights all the good parts of wrestling, I feel like.
Yeah.
In this. But yeah, cool. Fantastic. It was wonderful playing with you two. Don't forget to check out Eric at Zonecasts and over on his SoundCloud for Rhythm Bastard, where he does nerdcore music.
Yes.
And things like that. He has songs about Magic the Gathering and all sorts of other cool stuff. Go check out Casual Computers and find some articles written by Mateo. And please, if you enjoyed this podcast, share it with your friends, and check out some of our other actual plays as well. Other than that, farewell from the past. I do not have the right window open. Here we go. Farewell from the past. I'm Raymond.